All right, welcome once again to another 7 Minutes of Control with Rob Allen and Michael Bonner. This is part 2 with Blueridge Technologies and Ron Poskovich. Part 1, he went over the lighting control product offering, the zone controller, and some different panel offerings, as well as the energy code. So if you missed that one, you definitely want to hop back over to the YouTube page or the Google Plus page, wherever you're seeing this content, and take a look at part 1. So part 2, Ron's going to talk about how you, the HVAC Controls Contractor, can get into the lighting control market and make a good name for yourself and make yourself a little bit of money. So, Ron, go ahead. Tell us a little bit about why the controls contractor should hop into the lighting control market.
Great, glad to be here, Rob. Thanks for inviting me to be part of this thing. And let me switch to share screen. So, what I want to talk about is what we call unified lighting control, and I think it presents an opportunity for DDC controls contractors or HVAC controls contractors who are trying to expand their business and grow in the energy management realm. And lighting is kind of a natural fit if you've ever sold energy management before. And lightings clearly have a lot of quick paybacks to them and may help you justify a larger DDC upgrade that may not make it past the owner's payback requirements. So, with that said, let me get started on some of the details here. So, when we talk about unified lighting control, it is an integral part of the building automation system, not a gateway approach or not a separate system, so to speak. So it allows you to leverage a lot of the installations that you may already have out there. So, if you asked yourself how many of your existing installations are controlling lighting today, the answer I hear from most controls contractors is very little of their existing installed base are controlling lights. And so it presents an opportunity for customers that you already know and that you can grow with to bring them a lighting control solution that can be an integral part of what you already offer them. In addition, you're offering them a lot of leverage because a lot of the problems that the DDC industry has already solved don't have to be resolved by the lighting controls. Again, so remote access, demand response, wireless users, browser-based type control has already been solved by the building automation system. So a lot of those things become a leverage point, and you're tapping into that existing infrastructure. So really kind of a win-win for everybody involved there. The other thing I mentioned in the previous presentation with Rob and Michael was some of the energy code requirements, but the other thing that's important is where is the energy being consumed in the building. And that typically HVAC and lighting represent around 2/3 of the energy used in most commercial buildings, and there's a breakdown here showing you probably some of the buildings you participate in, and in some cases it's significantly more than that. So education and healthcare are around 75 or 76%. So the point is that if you're selling energy management or you're in the energy management business, you need to make sure that lighting is part of that solution. Otherwise, you've got somewhat of an incomplete system that you're providing to your owner. So with that said, there's a bit of change that has to occur to make that happen, and one of those things is how the product actually gets delivered to the owner. So in the traditional distribution model where it's furnished by Division 16, a lot of times I hear, well, that's lighting controls by the electrical contractor, not by us. Well, I think there is a change occurring in the market that's driving the need for the controls contractor to become involved in that, because the systems are becoming, I'll call them engineered systems rather than packaged type controls. And as a result, there isn't really any other contractor on the project site that has the capabilities to do what needs to be done, and that is the integration, the networking, the programming, the project management, the stuff that you already do for DDC controls. And it doesn't seem like the market, at least the electrical Division 16 or Division 26 side of the market, isn't picking that responsibility up, and to a large degree they're still focused on providing, I'll call it, packaged controls that are supposed to work out of the box. So there is an opportunity here, we think, for controls contractors to participate in that. In addition, it also gives the owner some value because you are local, you are knowledgeable about controls, and that's certainly a missing piece when you look at Division 16 or 26 furnished lighting controls. Most owners that I talk to are concerned about where they get their local support from, and having to fly a factory guy in to do startup or things along those lines are troublesome, because when the job's over, the guy hops on the plane and goes back home, and there isn't anybody there to support them locally.
There's also a huge opportunity with retrofits. I mean, if you're in the building not because of new construction, but because of retrofit, it's an adder to your portfolio.
Correct. That's a good point, Michael. There's plenty of installed base or places you can go today that don't require you to be part of that new construction process. So I think those are some of the main points. Just to drill down a little bit deeper, there are some things going on in the specification world, or in the CSI formatted specifications, that are driving some of this change, and that is that if you're familiar with the change between 1995 and 2004, that's part of the reason why these new divisions, Division 23, Division 25, Division 26 now exist, is that there is a Division 25 that is around integrated automation. Clearly that would be the preferred or the ideal strategy of furnishing lighting controls, is to furnish them under 25, but it's not the other way. We have seen lighting controls being furnished under Division 23 as part of the mechanical/controls contractor, where you're actually acting as a sub to the mechanical. There's also another model, which might be where you would actually act as a sub to the electrical. If you think back in the early DDC days, having the controls contractor as a sub to the mechanical made it clear who was doing the controls work and who was doing the mechanical work. And the same thing could occur on the Division 26 side. So there's a lot of different ways to deliver this solution. Of course, the ideal scenario would be under Division 25, but there's a number of different ways to make that happen so you can be part of that solution.
Well, the other thing that I think is super neat about Blueridge is you guys try to really walk the controls contractor through the first three phases. So if you get an opportunity, we can contact these guys, and they basically hold our hand through the entire process. As far as getting the job, specking it out, determining what we need, and then if we get the job, actually holding our hand again in terms of install and that type of stuff. And I've seen this in action a few different times, and these guys really are truly great. Takes a lot of the liability out of it for somebody thinking that they this might be over their head. It's really not going to be when you get the support from Blueridge that I've definitely witnessed firsthand.
Yeah, and I think the other thing we've tried to do is empower the controls contractors to get into the lighting control business by offering, our free certification here in Atlanta. And certainly Stromquist has an awful lot of support with Michael and Rob that can help you as well. So.
Yeah, good stuff as always. I really appreciate you having you on today, Ron. Super good stuff. If any of you controls contractors out there really want to have a more in-depth presentation, you want to attend the class out at Blueridge Technologies, please let me or Michael know, and we'll be glad to help you out, and we'll get Ron out to see you. In true 7-minute control fashion, I'm going to turn it over to you, Mike, for last minute with Mike.
Well, guys, I mean, you're already in the space, so I think lighting control is a natural fit. I mean, while you're in there, ask your customer, do they have any lighting control needs? And it's just inputs and outputs. It's, if you're in there tuning PID loops on big fans, you can handle the lighting control. And I think it's a great opportunity and a good fit.
Well said, well said. Thanks, guys. That's another 7 Minutes in Control with Rob Allen and Mike Bonner. Thanks so much, Ron, for being on. Until next time, guys, take care.